Hello, everybody. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Tales from the Fog. I'm your host, Casey, and with me, stop laughing.
Why are you laughing? Oh, Lord.
Oh, my God, guys. Welcome to Tales from the Fog. I'm your host, Casey. Over there's Veronica. Say hello.
Hello. Something happened. There's a gas leak or something, and Casey and I can't keep it together, but it's going to be all right. What's new, Casey?
What's new is we missed the spook show. We didn't get to go to it.
That was the one at Halloween Club?
Yes, that's a Halloween Club event. A bunch of stuff was going on there, and we were out of town in Yosemite. And we were in Yosemite because we were getting married.
Yeah, successfully.
Yeah, everything went off without a hitch.
We officially got married. We signed the paperwork. We have witnesses. It was really awesome. It was a beautiful, beautiful weekend.
I gotta say, if you've never been to Yosemite, you definitely have to go.
It's not far from here. I mean, it's a 6-7 hour drive.
Well, for us.
Well, that's what I mean. I mean,
if you're in another country or you're somewhere else in the country,
then it's a little bit of a hike.
But it's worth the trip.
But it's a destination that should be on people's bucket lists. There are so many things to do, you know, regardless of what you're into. I mean, if you happen to be into hiking or rock climbing, this is definitely a place you need to go. But everybody needs to get away for a little bit. And what better place than this amazing, just gorge cut out of the living rock by a bunch of ice cubes, tens of thousands of however many millions of years ago.
Yeah, it's even with the pictures, you can't get the depth and the expanse of this place.
Yeah.
You really have to go in person and just see it to really understand the beauty of it.
Yeah.
But it's definitely one of the most beautiful places in the world.
Yeah, I mean, that's why we picked it. Also because it's close to us. Like we said, something like 7 hours.
Yeah.
But, you know, we could have picked any national park and it would have meant something to us. But this one just happened to be the closest one. But, you know, with me and Casey, we bonded over nature and hiking. So it only seemed fitting that we would get married out in the woods like a couple of hippies, except we had shoes on because it was really cold.
It was really cold.
Yeah, the coldest, it was in the 30s?
Yeah, it was about 30s.
Yeah.
But during the day, it would get up. I think Sunday got up into the 60s.
Sunday was perfect. I mean, we had shorts and t-shirt. Well, you had shorts on.
Yeah,
I don't wear shorts in public. But I had a tank top on. Xander, short sleeve shirt. Xander went hiking for the first time. Well, not really for the first time, but I think this was the first time that he enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Last time we took him hiking, we went up to, it was on the John Muir Trail? No.
Holy Jim Falls.
Holy Jim Falls.
Yeah.
And he was not a fan. He was so upset that we took him hiking. And this time, he was bugging us. Where are we going to go hiking? What's next? Can we keep going?
Yeah.
It was really fun to see that little transition. He did rock climbing for the first time.
He did.
That was definitely, at least that we've taken him, was the first time he had done any rock climbing.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun.
Pretty good.
We did the hike. We wanted to see if we could see any climbers up on El Capitan. So we hiked out. It's about from the parking lot to the viewing area, which is like a little meadow. It's a little less than it was like a half a mile, maybe.
It's
not too far.
No, it's not far at all.
To get to the actual rock face where you start climbing, you know, it's like 3,600 feet straight up of granite. This thing's gigantic. And to get out there, it's probably, another half mile, but it's all off. There's no trail. You just kind of follow this rocky riverbed up the hill a ways.
It's more like a use trail. You can tell that it's a pretty common route to get up there. That was maybe a half mile, probably closer to a quarter mile.
Yeah.
Feels longer because it's basically like you're crawling up rock steps.
Yeah.
It's like a staircase. You just climb up and up.
And it gets pretty steep in some spots where it's like you're going up at a good angle.
Yeah. But what was cool about that place is we actually saw the backpacks of the people who were on the climb.
Yeah.
And like we were walking up and we actually saw people up on El Capitan, like on the freaking rock.
Yeah. They were
God knows how far up they were.
Probably like only a quarter way,
But even a quarter way is
1,000
what, like
feet?
1,000 feet in the air?
Yeah.
It was ridiculous. But we took the same exact path that they did, and where we actually got to touch the base of El Capitan, there were these guys' backpacks and their change of shoes. It was really cool to see, like, oh my gosh, like, this is where they started. Like, everyone starts somewhere. They started here.
Yep.
And so we climbed it.
Yeah, we climbed a little bit.
Yeah, I think Xander got about maybe 6 feet up.
Yeah.
Before he was like, okay, I'm done. Like, he looked down and was like, no. And that's about where I stopped, too. I was like, this is good.
Yeah, I got up to the first ledge, which, I don't know, maybe 20 feet?
No,
it's hard to tell,
it wasn't that
when
high.
you're on
but
top,
it, was,
it looks higher than when you're on the ground.
I don't think it was 20 feet, but it was high enough where I wasn't going up there.
Yeah.
It was maybe like 2 or 3 of you. So
that's close,
well, I'll say
to
like
20,
15 feet.
15,
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
It was awesome, whatever it was.
It was cool. It was so much fun.
Yeah, we took a bunch of pictures. We had our friend Marnie, who does photography for the Decade Brigade, and she's done weddings here and there and, has done a lot of stuff. She was our official photographer for the event, so she was with us and took some stunning photos of the place. And, I mean, of course, she got pictures of us, and of course they're adorable, but, like, the real scope of what she's capable of is visible in those pictures of the scenery around us.
Yeah.
I mean,
some of the waterfall photos and stuff she got.
They were so good. And of course the pictures of us were adorable. I can't wait to see like the whole. So now is the process where, I mean, she works a day job too. So, she's not going to have them to us the next day, obviously. But, there's the editing and the tedious work with cleaning up the photos and making sure, like, if we were to print a gigantic version of it, then it still looks clean, like all that shenanigans.
Yeah.
So.
And she took over 1,000 photos.
Oh my God.
Just on the wedding day. So I don't know the other 2 days, because we were all there. We were there. The whole party was there for pretty much 3 days, like 2.5 days, really.
Yeah. Some folks got there. So my cousin was there, and he is a very busy dude. And he flew in from San Diego to Fresno.
Yeah.
And then drove from Fresno up to, Tunnel View, which if you are familiar with Yosemite, you know what Tunnel View is. It's like when you picture Yosemite and like the Ansel Adams pictures of everything, like you just see the expanse of the valley and the mountains on either side and stuff. That's Tunnel View, basically. So he met us there. That's where we had the ceremony. And then he stayed for dinner. And then he left again that night back to Fresno, where the next morning he flew back to San Diego so that he could fly to Texas to do some big, awesome, epic thing with his company, with which he's hugely involved. So, props to that guy for definitely putting the miles to show up, which was super cool. And it was really small. We had 11 people in total. That was including the officiant and her husband and Xander and the photographer and the photographer's helper.
Yeah, but it was cool because it was all people we knew.
Yeah.
So it was very intimate. All family and close friends. So
basically people who would have killed us if we eloped were the people that were there. We're like,
pretty
here,
much.
Just so that you don't kill us later, how about we do this?
Yeah.
So it was a nice mix of getting away and having people there, making it a nice, intimate event.
Yeah, it was really nice.
Mm-hmm.
So how does it feel to be married?
It's kind of weird still.
Now you're Miss Tales from the Fog.
I'm Miss or Mrs.?
Mrs.
I'm Mrs.
Ms.
Before I was Miss
MS period.
Harlot that hung out with
MRS
Tales
period.
from the Fog. Now I'm officially Mrs. I am heir to the Tales from the Fog empire fortune. So update your beneficiary paperwork, sir.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's neat because I'm reminded, like every morning, I wash my face, do my girly stuff, and then I go to put on my jewelry, and I always have the same rings that I put on every day. And now I put on an extra one on my ring finger. And so I'm reminded every day, like, oh yeah, I married my best friend.
Yeah,
and so
cool.
it is cool. It's like a little, it's neat. What do you think?
I think it's pretty awesome.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I still think you're crazy.
I think you're crazy, but awesome.
Oh, thanks.
So before we get too mushy,
Ah.
how about we talk about rumors?
Oh, I like rumors. Tell
Yeah.
me more.
So every year, the Halloween Horror Nights Twitter starts spitting out clues as to possibly what the mazes they're going to be putting in the next year are going to be.
Right.
So I have a list. Someone nicely compiled a list for us of everything that has come out so far. And now we can just kind of go through, and also I'll give you the clues for a maze, and you can kind of tell me what you think the maze is going to be based on the clues. This can be a lot of fun.
Are you going to play it back to me to show me how awfully wrong I was?
Or how awesomely right you are.
I'll take it.
Do we want to make a bet on how many you'll get?
No, I'm so bad at these things. I can't. No.
No?
But we can play it back just so that we can go, wow, you were way off.
Yeah, well, we're at least going to know some soon with Midsummer Scream and Scare LA. They always do a maze announcement at each of those. So we're going to know soon at least 2.
So these clues that they post are just kind of giving you a hint of what the maze is going to be?
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, a lot of times they're very obscure, but they all, once you hear the name, the clues make sense. But you're really good at puzzles, so I think you might be good at this.
Well, thank you.
All right, so maze number 1 is codenamed Lemonade.
Okay.
The first maze was required to be designed first, whatever that means.
It was required to be designed first. For what?
I don't know. I'm just giving you the clues.
Oh, sorry. I thought there was more.
It has to do with something a filmmaker said to John about his property. Murdy did a redesign of the maze, and the codename fits the property even more now. So he did a redesign of the maze, and now Lemonade means even more to the maze than it did prior to his redesign. The codename has a B connection. Okay. It is not a new film. So remember, they do like all IPs. So It's not a new film. So it's not a film that's coming soon. It's an older film.
Okay.
It's pretty obvious in what it points to, but pretty obscure in the connection beyond that. The redesign was not a request from the filmmakers and was on a large part. And it was done on a large portion of the maze. So the filmmakers didn't request him to do a redesign. He just did it on a big portion of the maze. And it's a big treatment. So if anybody knows, Halloween Horror Nights does their mazes like a movie script, where they basically script out the entire maze. And so this treatment is 119 pages long.
Whoa. Which
is really long. And that is all the clues we have for Lemonade. So what do you think it could be?
Well, the first thing I thought when you said lemonade is what you made when life gives you lemons. And I know that there was something that recently wasn't there something that got torn down or had to be demolished, or was that in Florida? Didn't like the house?
No, I don't know. Not that I know of.
That's all I know. That's all I got is when life gives you lemons, you make lemonade. So maybe he designed something awesome and then something was wrong or something was inaccurate or
it wasn't working
or somebody died or something else, some other information was released and they made the best of it and the result was making lemonade out of lemons. Either that or it's an Addams Family thing.
That could be.
And they're made
Addams
with
Family would be a really weird maze.
It would be way more fun than their typical, I take myself very seriously kind of scary movie.
That's true. That would be pretty funny.
That would be great.
All right, so we're going to say it's a Addams Family maze.
We're saying wow.
We are on the ball, guys.
Oh, Lord.
All right. Maze number 2, the code name is Charles. And he said it's trickier than The Exorcist. Has an iconic scene that is instantly associated with the property and took Murdy a while to figure out. The code name has to do with a character. Murdy is excited about this maze as he thought he would never get to do it. Everything old is new again. Named the maze after a friend of Murdy who shares a name. And the treatment for this one's 71 pages long. So it's trickier than The Exorcist. That's,
what does he mean by trickier?
Well, like The Exorcist movie, the thing that they had a problem with doing the maze is the entire movie takes place pretty much in Reagan's bedroom. Right. So how do you make a maze where you just go into the same room over and over and over again? And that was the hard thing that they had to figure out. So if it's trickier than that, I don't...
So something that takes place in the same space throughout the whole movie?
I don't know.
Does Saw take place in the same space throughout the whole movie?
Yes, but they've done Saw before.
Universal has?
Yes.
Named after a friend of his who shares his name?
Mm-hmm.
Shares whose? John's or Charles?
I don't know. Doesn't say. All I gave you is all we got. That one's really hard. When I first saw Charles, I was like Charles Xavier, and then I was like, well...
Charlie Manson?
It could be a Manson maze, but is there a movie based on that?
I don't know. Chucky? Charles?
Could be a Chucky maze.
How would that be
But
difficult, though?
They've done a Chucky maze. At least in Orlando, I believe they have before. I don't know.
Charles.
All right. Maze number 3. And now this one, I instantly had an idea of what it might be. So I'm going to see if you come up with the same thing. The code name is Writer's Block. Has to do with writer's block. The letters M and N have to do with the property, and the treatment is 121 pages long. So as soon as they said writer's block, I was like The Shining.
Oh, really? I was thinking Misery. Because I think writer and then a block between his ankles.
That could be either of those.
I like The Shining better. I don't know if Misery...
Thinking.
Do you think Misery would translate well into a maze?
Well, Bled Bayou at Knott's, the Hillbilly Maze. Kind of the same idea, right? But you just throw in some iconic scenes from the movie.
The Shining would be pretty sweet.
The Shining would be awesome because you could have like the hedge maze at the end or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know. I would love to see them do a Shining maze, so I really hope that's what it is.
Writer's Block, or like, I don't know. Was it like The Secret Window?
The Secret Window too, but that one would be really hard to do as a maze. Like, what would you do with that?
No clue. I don't know. I like both. I like The Shining and I like the Misery.
I like both those too.
Neat.
Awesome. All right. Maze number 4 is codenamed The Big Chill. Murdy stated that the place he was traveling to in Ireland would influence things for the maze. So possibly castles? I don't know. Murdy is excited to bring it to HHN. He says the movie is scarier than The Exorcist. Murdy gets shivers after watching this movie. The hint is a song from the soundtrack The Big Chill, which I don't know what the song was. So, but we do know the location of this one's going to be in the Jurassic Park queue. And the treatment is 62 pages long. So The Big Chill. Frozen Maze?
I don't know. I was kind of thinking like Deliverance, but I don't think Deliverance was cold.
Well, see, I was thinking The Thing, right? Because that took place in the cold.
But
they've already done The Thing. So I was like,
What else is cold? Encino Man?
Encino Man. So now we have an Addams Family Maze and Encino Man, guys.
I'm just reliving my youth through Hollywood Horror Nights.
Okay. You're going to be required to get stoned. Go like that. Oh man.
Oh.
All right. So maze number 5, we don't have a code name yet.
Okay.
But Murdy says the maze is going to be a dark horse, which means a maze that's not all that well known, but ultimately becomes a fan favorite, like Krampus last year. Has a scene that has the scent of dirty socks. It will have a David Bowie inspired code name, and the treatment is 103 pages long.
Smell of dirty socks.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Now there's some more hints here. So we have some general hints that he's put out that don't have to necessarily do with the mazes. He's saying this is the second best lineup that Halloween Horror Nights at Hollywood has ever had. There are no original mazes this year, so they're all based on IPs of movies. There will be both new and old horror films this year. And one of the mazes will be a TV-themed maze, which I believe would probably be American Horror Story. Unless they're counting Walking Dead, which is a permanent thing. So I don't know. I don't think they would count that.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm guessing it's going to be another American Horror Story maze. Would be the TV one. I don't know which of those clues would be that one, but
I don't know because I haven't followed.
And he said there's no repeats, no literal repeats. So that would fit with American Horror Story because they did season 1, 3, and whatever. So they could do 2, 4, and whatever. Mm-hmm. And it wouldn't be a literal repeat, but it would be the same property. No 3D mazes. It says the inside of a 747 will not be used this year, which makes me think that either there's no terror tram or they're going to have a new route through the back lot.
That would be interesting. I wonder what in the back lot they would use then.
There's all kinds of places they haven't gone yet. Yeah. So they have the whole old Western sets. They have the larger sets like where the Back to the Future clock tower is and all that.
Yeah.
So they have a lot of space to use it.
So they're not going to swing by the Whoville thing?
Don't know. Have no clue.
Wow. Well, I have no idea. What do you think?
I don't know. It says there will be mazes coming this year that will be very surprising, as if we didn't see it coming. Oh, hey, here's one. One of the hints is Boo.
Boo.
What if you think they're finally going to do a trick-or-treat maze?
What set of clues would that tie into? The Dirty Socks one?
Could be the Dark Horse one, because Krampus was made by the same director and writer.
That's really cool that they do this. They do it every year?
Yep, he's done it every year. Orlando does things a little differently. They do all kinds of different stuff. They've done full-on kind of like viral games where they'll set up just like a fake website that people have to kind of hack. And the deeper you get into the websites, the more kind of clues and hints that you get, which is a lot of fun.
It's so interactive.
Yeah, Universal is really, really good with getting fans involved, which is one of the reasons why I think their events are so packed all the time, is because their fans get really involved for the entire year leading up to the event. And they get really excited when they get one of the clues right.
And it doesn't seem like they're really like going out on a limb to do that. I mean, all they're doing is, what is it, a blog?
Oh, they do it through Twitter.
So they're tweeting out messages and that's it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they just tweet out and then people keep track of it and which clue goes to what stuff. And then they have forums where they'll sit there and just dissect all the clues. And people will actually go and like research, like they said one of the songs from that movie soundtrack was a clue. So they'll listen to the entire song and try to figure out hints from the song and stuff like that. So it's really cool. It's a lot of fun. I've never been that involved with it, but I like checking in on them to see what their progress is throughout the summer and just to see how far they've gotten on the clues. Because it's kind of fun just to see. Man,
I'm stuck on Dirty Socks and David Bowie.
Yeah.
That just sounds like
Saturday
me at
night.
age 6. Watching Labyrinth in clothes that should be being washed and they're not.
Yeah.
Wow. I don't know. I'm going to be thinking about that for a while now.
All right. So you guys think about it too at home. If you guys have any ideas on what the clues could mean, or if you're really excited about that Addams Family maze that apparently Veronica really thinks is coming, let's
blame me for the Addams Family maze.
Yeah, you can message her at Veronica Marshman on Facebook because she hasn't changed her name yet.
I'm waiting for the paperwork. Calm down.
Oh, we need to get that gas leak fixed. All right. So moving on.
Yes.
Last time we talked about Busch Gardens. Last time we talked about Busch Gardens, Hollow Scream, and I mentioned that I flew up to Virginia for a couple days to go check out another haunt. And the haunt that we went to was called Spooky Acres in Norfolk, Virginia. My sister found out about this. She was living in Virginia Beach at the time, so we went and visited her and went to go check it out. And if you're out in Virginia, definitely go check out Spooky Acres because it was a lot of fun. They had 2 kind of standard mazes. One was like the Haunted Forest, where you just go through a forest and they have like scenes and stuff like that. Kind of your standard haunted forest walk, if you've been through one of those. And then they had a haunted house, which was, just kind of like a haunted house. It wasn't themed to anything exactly. It was kind of your hodgepodge haunt with different things like clowns and probably a Freddy Krueger or whatever lying around. But they had a lot of really unique, interesting rooms. And the one that I really, really enjoyed was, if you've ever been clubbing and they have like those foam parties, they had a room at the end that was just like this room, and they had those foam machines, and it was like from floor to ceiling, wall to wall foam. And so you come out of a dark hallway and you're just pushing yourself through the foam trying to find the door to get out.
So you're talking like not the kind of foam that you jump into, but the kind of foam
it's like bubble foam.
Bubbles. Okay.
Yeah. And they had like a disco ball in there, so there's like crazy lights going on, and it was really fun. And then once you find your way out, you're actually in one of those claustrophobia hallways, and it scrapes all the bubbles off of you. So when you pop out of the exit, it doesn't look like nobody at the exit could tell that you were like in a bubble party.
So sneaky.
Yeah, it was really fun. But the real reason to go there is for their hayride. Their hayride was absolutely amazing. So you hop on the little tractor that's pulling the trailer.
In my tractor.
Yep. And you get in the hay and you're just chilling. And it kind of starts off like a normal through the woods. They're pulling you through the backs of the farm, and there's monsters that pop out and stuff, and they'll grab onto the side of the trailer and like scare you and ride along with you for a bit and then jump off the trailer. But they have and then all of a sudden you come to this big kind of warehouse. It's like the facade looks like a barn, but you can tell it's kind of a big warehouse. Mm-hmm. And if you've been to Universal Studios Hollywood and been on the tram ride, they have these scenes that are kind of the same idea as like Earthquake or The Fast and the Furious or King Kong, where you'll pull up to this big warehouse and the doors automatically open, and then the tractor drives in and the door shuts behind you and you're just in the pitch black. And then all of a sudden a whole scene will play out, and they have these really cool scenes. And one of them was the boiler room from Nightmare on Elm Street, and like the lights would come up really dim, and you just see the pipes and the steam and everything around you, and you start seeing projections of the claws on the wall, and Freddy is kind of taunting you the whole time. They have that creepy nursery rhyme going on along with it, like, I don't remember what the nursery rhyme is. 1, 2, Freddy's coming. Yeah, so they have that going, and everybody's freaking out. And then, like, the big finale is Freddy, like, dropped from the ceiling and landed in the middle of the car and scared the shit out of everybody.
Oh, my God.
It was so amazing. And that was just one of the scenes. And they had, like, I want to say, like, at least 6 of these.
That's a lot.
Yeah, and so there was a Texas Chainsaw Massacre one. And Hellraiser one, and then there was a few more. I can't remember all of them, but they all were very, very well put together. I mean, like, high quality with projection mapping and amazing show lighting and special effects, and the characters are really, really well done. I don't know how long they rehearsed, but the timing had to be on, like, for the characters working these rooms, like, everything you could tell was computer controlled, so their timing had to be perfect. Mm-hmm. So they must have rehearsed this a lot before they started sending people through, and they had to have, like, rode through the tram, like, in the cars to make sure, like, all the sight lines were good and, like, all that kind of stuff. So yeah, just absolutely amazing haunt that I didn't even know about. It's kind of one of those haunts that has flown under the radar. Because, you watch the Travel Channel and they talk about, like, the one up in New York, what's it called? The Headless Horseman Haunted Hayride, which is, like, the big one up in New York, and they talk about, all the other ones, like, in New Orleans and stuff, but this one in Virginia Beach completely surprised me, because while the other 2 attractions are kind of like, alright, cool, they're fun, they're cool to go through, the hayride is definitely the thing to check out at that place. So if you're out there on the East Coast in Virginia near Norfolk, definitely go check out Spooky Acres. You can still, I believe they already have their 2017 dates up on the line. And you can just go check out their website. And the other cool thing is it's like an entire night event. So they have this huge concourse area on the farm that has like a Ferris wheel and a scrambler and like some fun fair rides. And they have their traditional like fair games where you like throw the ball at the bottles or
Yeah,
like
like
ring
food and
toss and all that kind of stuff. And so if you have younger kids, you can go and hang out with them and let them go on the rides or play the games while the bigger kids go and do the scary attractions. But we had a blast going.
You can get food there and stuff?
Yeah, they have all kinds of like fair food, hot dogs, funnel cakes.
Oh.
They had a really good bar. Just saying. Great beer. But yeah, definitely a really cool place to check out. If you're in Virginia Beach, it's close. Norfolk's not too far away. I would say if you're like within an hour's drive of this place, it's worth checking out.
Kind of goes the same thing for Hobbs Grove. I mean, it's farther than an hour from us, but it's worth it. It's worth driving for 4 hours to get there.
Yeah, it's like a 4-hour drive for us, but it's the uniqueness of it because while back east and in the Midwest, there's a lot of farm haunts. Out here in California, there's maybe 2. One up north, like past San Francisco, and then Hobbs Grove.
What
like,
about
really
the LA haunted hayride? Is that
that's
like
not
a real
farm
one?
haunt.
Oh yeah, sorry, I was thinking hayride.
Yeah, that's a hayride. But
was Coffin Creek considered a farm haunt?
No.
Oh no, I'm not Coffin Creek. Haunted Vineyard. That's what I was thinking.
Haunted Vineyard was close, but they only had the one attraction. So
yeah, but what an attraction it was!
But they didn't have the three standards of the haunted forest, haunted house, haunted hayride.
True.
But Haunted Vineyard definitely was amazing.
Yeah, Coffin Creek's close. It's not like an actual producing farm, but it's nice and landy.
Landy. It has land.
It is very landy. It's very fancy.
It's very nice.
Yeah. So what else you got?
How about this Friday, Veronica and the Decade Brigade will be at Spook Show at the Yost Theater.
Spook Show?
No, not a Spook Show. The other thing.
Spook Show just happened and we weren't in attendance because we were in the process of our nuptials.
Yes.
This one is Fool's Festival, right?
Festival. Okay. There we go.
All right. See, we're on the same page. It's okay.
I'm going to blame the gas leak on that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
So Fool's Festival this Friday, if you're going, and I'm going to be there as media. So I'll be taking pictures and whatnot with our good friend Vince from All Things Haunted.
Yay!
So if you listen to the first episode of the podcast, Vince will be there. So if you see us, come up and say hi. Veronica will be there as Nani from the Decade Brigade, along with a few other Decade Brigaders as entertainment. They're not going to be sliding because if you've been to the Yost Theater, it's a small venue. But there is going to be some other cool stuff. There's going to be some DJs. There's going to be some acrobatic artists, aerials.
Yeah, I think the aerialists will be there. I hope so. There may be stilt walkers.
Might be.
If they find anybody. No, that was for something else. But yeah, there's going to be a lot of really cool live entertainment there.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. It's all, for fun, crazy, weird people like us. So
if you haven't gotten your tickets yet, you can get 20% off if you use coupon code 1team1scream. That's the number 1 team, the number 1 scream. And, that'll save you a couple bucks if you're already heading out there anyway. It'll, maybe it's enough to cover an extra drink or your Uber home,
Yeah.
Whatever the case is, it's going to be a lot of fun. This event has been very well promoted, and the Yost is a super cool venue.
It is. It's small, but it's pretty cool.
But it just has a really cool attitude.
Yeah.
And we had
it's an old theater from, it's in Old Town Santa Ana.
Mm-hmm. Downtown Santa Ana.
Well, it's like the old town.
Is it like the oldie?
Yeah. Because the theater's from like 1920, 30, I don't know. It's really old, and they refurbished it. And they opened it, I don't even know, like maybe 10 years ago they reopened it when they kind of revitalized that downtown area.
It's really cool in there.
Yeah, but it's really awesome. Old school kind of vaudeville theater, but now they've turned it into kind of a club
It's pretty flexible.
But it's neat. It's
Parking
really cool.
is kind of a bear, so plan to get there a little bit early. And
Yeah.
you're going to end up parking on a street, but you're going to be fine. But there might be some pay to park places, but we always find a spot on the street.
Yeah.
So just plan ahead.
The next thing is Decade Brigade was announced for Midsummer Scream.
Yay! I mean, come on, you guys already knew, but
Yeah.
it's official. We can officially talk about it officially.
Officially. So what can we officially talk about it? Not much.
We have no idea what's happening.
Well, we do know there's going to be a couple shows, probably 3, like the same as last year. I've been working on the music, so that secret project I was talking about one of the podcasts ago. I'm doing the music for the shows, so we're working on that. We have a really cool direction that it's going, but I can't really say what that is because it would kind of give away the idea of the show. But it's coming together. It's really cool. It was tough getting started on the music because it's a very ambitious piece of work to put together, but it's slowly coming together, and I'm probably about halfway through show 1, and I'm starting to really dig it now.
They're always like that, though. When you first start, it's really hard to draw the first line, you know? Like,
Yeah.
where is this going? But once you do draw that first line, then you can build on it. And now, like you said, you're halfway through, and it's like, okay, we got this. We're kind of in the same boat as far as choreographing and designing the shows themselves. It's just making that first step, you know, from which everything will stem.
Yeah.
So that's where we are now is because we want to, obviously we have to try to raise the bar from last year, which was raised pretty flippin' high.
Yeah.
Thanks to these talented kids, you know, and, you know, the talent of the directors and choreographers and cat wranglers and everybody else. So we want to take all of that awesomeness and step it up in every way. And we have plans to do so. We've had a couple of meetings already, like Decade Brigade official meetings where, I mean, we've got some awesome suggestions, and not everything's going to make it because we only
just have too much suggestion. But
we
all of them
had
were good,
so many great ideas from everybody. So it's whittling it down to not necessarily the best ideas, but the most congruent ideas.
The ones that would work best together.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't know.
As like a cohesive piece of art.
Correct. So picking the right stuff to put together that jives with the story we're trying to tell and the talent that we have. You know, everyone's got different skills. They bring different things to the table. We really want to showcase that more because, I mean, we can slide. We've pretty much shown that, but it's the extra stuff. It's the storytelling. It's the acrobatics. It's the combinations. It's the efficiency and the speed and like all that cool stuff that you might, you know, you can go to Scary Farm and see sliders. You go to a Decade Brigade show to see a show.
Yeah.
So that's what we're, you know, we talk big, but it's going to be big. There's one what?
I was going to say, there's one thing that I really wish we could announce, but can't. Sucks. All right. Let's move on before I spill the beans.
Don't you go spilling no beans.
Next announcement. Decade Brigade Official is now on Facebook.
Yay!
So don't go to the old one, which was just Decade Brigade. Doesn't exist. Well, I mean, it does exist, but
no one knows who the admin is.
No one knows anything about it. So
who has the password? Nobody knows.
Look up Decade Brigade Official on Facebook. Make sure you follow them because that's where you'll get a lot more announcements and probably fun tidbits and things. Maybe some Facebook Living. I don't know what they're planning on doing.
Oh, Lord.
I
hope
imagine
not.
The Facebook Lives that we could do.
Probably from practice. I mean, not running an actual show or something, but I mean, anyone who's been to a slider practice, you know, any slider practice knows how weird and fun and bizarre it can be. So it's content. I mean, Decade Brigade as a performance group knows that part of being a performance group is generating content.
Yep.
So that's why there was kind of a focus on bringing the Facebook page to life because it was a missed opportunity. I mean, yes, we have a bunch of fans, but how many more fans in places that aren't even near us could we get if we actually produced more content? So, and again, like with the pool of talents that our guys and gals have, this is one of them. Like a lot of them are really good content creators.
Mm-hmm.
So it's good to have this extra avenue to do fun things that are very related to what we do as a group, but it's just an extra fun, awesome thing that you can do year round, not just in July when, Midsummer Scream happens, and not just in October where Halloween Haunt and all the other haunts that happen. Upcoming audition for Waterworld?
Sure, we can talk about that.
So, you folks may remember me telling you about an audition that I had with Action Horizons. And that was for Action Horizons does a lot of the shows at Universal, the stunt show, the special effects show, Waterworld. I think they do the dinosaurs, stuff like that. So, going to the Waterworld show, they have an audition coming up that's for that show for this year. And it is on Monday, April 10th at 9:30 a.m. Go to their website, actionhorizons.com. I've also posted on my personal Facebook, if you feel like following me or adding me. I'm Veronica Marshman because I haven't changed my name yet, Casey.
Yeah, what's up with that?
Ugh, paperwork. So I reposted the poster. I will repost it again so that everyone can see it. But if you've ever thought about doing stunts, I know this sounds really weird because you're like, why would I do that? Why would I jump out of a moving vehicle? Why would I jump off of a building? Why would I jump out of a perfectly good helicopter? Some people like to do these things. Casey jumps out of perfectly good airplanes. Yep. Weirdo. So if this is you and you've ever wanted to do something weird like this, stunt work is a lot of fun. And I'm just getting into it. I'm super baby beginner. I already love it with my whole heart. And I want to do this until I can't walk anymore. So, yeah, audition for Waterworld with Action Horizons, Monday, April 10th. Auditions, registration starts at 9:30, so get there early. Parking always kind of sucks in LA, Burbank,
Yeah.
But, yes, from me to you, please audition if you've ever thought about it. Because even if your skills aren't up to par, you're still going out there, you're trying something new, you're meeting new people, and you're seeing what it's like to have to, you have to audition everywhere you go.
Yeah.
So
on top of that, you'll know what you need to work on.
Yeah.
So if there's a skill that you didn't know you needed, that just means, all right, I need to go to the gym and start working on this.
Yeah, because every single no gets you closer to your yes. I mean, if you're a performer at all, an actor, an artist of any kind, you know that every single no brings you one step closer to your yes. So audition all the time. Try all the time. Submit all the time. Anyway, lectures over.
And now that we've been lectured,
you're welcome.
Be sure to follow us on Facebook at Tales from the Fog. Follow us on Instagram at Tales from the Fog. We are now officially on SoundCloud. We moved over because our previous podcast host wanted to charge us too much money, and SoundCloud gave us a really good deal to move over. So,
well, that's not really a bad thing because we outgrew them.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a really great thing. It's because of you guys that we made the change. Exactly. So that more people can listen to it, more people can interact with us, and we can produce more content for you guys. So
exactly. And now we don't have to worry about, I don't want to really promote this because we already have enough people and I'm going to go over my data and all that stuff. That's gone because SoundCloud gave us unlimited bandwidth. So the sky's the limit now for whatever you guys want to download and enjoy. So you can follow us at SoundCloud, Tales from the Fog, just like everything else. If you have a podcast app that isn't connected to iTunes, you're going to have to re-add us. But if you're connected through iTunes in your podcast app, or you just download us through iTunes, that's all been updated to the new feed. So you should see all the new stuff come in. It's going to be a little different because SoundCloud, the way it pops up in iTunes, is actually nicer looking than how it was with the other place. So it looks nicer. It's more professional looking, I guess.
Do I need to make a new picture?
No, everything's fine. And so we're excited about that. On top of that, because we're now on SoundCloud, if you have SoundCloud Go, you can listen to us on demand through your SoundCloud Go app. You can now listen to us on Stitcher Radio and TuneIn Radio. So if you're on either of those, you can also look up our feed and get us through the radio. So that is pretty amazing and awesome. So thank you guys for helping us make the move.
Yeah, thank you for all of your downloads and all of your listens. And I mean, it may not seem like a big deal, but it means a lot to us because it's something, with the haunted stuff, the haunted industry, here and there paranormal stuff. Like, this is stuff that means a lot to me and Casey. So we're really grateful that you guys are on board with us and you come with us on our adventures.
Yeah.
So thanks, you guys.
Yeah, thank you. And until next time, we'll see you in the fog.
Bye, guys.
Bye.